Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 9 of Benjamin Magnus Plays Kerbal Space Program. Last episode was very interesting. It kind of turned into a montage of me exploding on the surface of the moon. Eventually I did make it to the moon and back with my Mooner 1 spacecraft, and as you can see I have a ton of signs to burn, and I did spend a little bit off screen, and I'll show you what I did in just a second. I grabbed this guy so I could have these radial decouplers, TT7 radial decoupler, because I use them to rebuild my booster section. And as you can see, it looks like it's pushed away a little bit. The decoupler is separated from the whatever it's attached to by a little bit, so it gives you a little bit more room around the middle to maneuver with. And so I bought that and rebuilt my booster section, and I'll show you it in just a second. And it looks pretty good. I like the way it looks. And what I did notice again is that I still have a contract to gather data or transmit data from space around Kerbin and from space around the moon. And what I was thinking of doing was building an unmanned probe to do those things, because I haven't done that before. And right here we have a probe, Stay Putnik Mark 1. So we're going to use our research to grab our Mark 1 unmanned probe and see what else we unlocked here. This looks like inline vents. This looks like mostly probe beginner's level probe core with simple geometry and lots of flat surface to attach equipment. Fuel tank. Place anywhere 7 linear RCS port. Oh, RCS is these RCS thrusters. They use monopropellant, which you can you have fuel tanks for, like this right here, and it's just little bursts of thrust, so it's good for trying to dock with. Now, to make sure that we have the energy to keep our space probe going, what I was thinking about doing is grabbing this advanced electrics to get the better photovoltaic panels. The solar panels is what those are. Right, there's more photovoltaic, and these are better batteries. Let's see what else we have access to. Mobile processing lab, landing gears. I just looked at these guys. That's aerodynamic. That's for like terrestrial planes. Advanced construction is definitely going to be something to get for, because it has some better decouplers and adapters that I can use. And there's also advanced rocketry, which I should get at some point. But I have 204. I'm going to use 160 of it to get these panels. And this is some really in-depth stuff now. I've never gotten this far, so I've certainly never gotten this far. A rechargeable battery pack, solar array. What do we got here? Communotron 8888 data transmitter. Double C seismic accelerometer. Okay, that detects earthquakes and seismic activities and stuff like that. Well, we're almost out of our research, so let's get out of that, and I'll go show you my rebuilt booster section. It's basically the same thing, except, as you can see, I've got these better decouplers that give me a little more space, so it's a little wider, but it looks a little better. It's a little more stable. But this is basically the same booster section I was using before, and I did test this out to make sure it works correctly, and it does. So now what I'm going to need to do is design a probe, and this is going to be the main part of the probe, and this is a lot of fuel. This is a lot of fuel, a lot of thrust. It'll get me into orbit really well. So I don't think I'm going to need a terribly complex probe. So let's just grab a few. Let's grab a big. What I forgot is I do need an engine for my probe. Let's grab a little engine for the probe because it's got to be light. Let's grab a small fuel tank, not a huge one, not this big one here. Maybe is there a medium-sized one? Okay, we're not going to grab the small one. I'm going to grab the medium-sized fuel tank. I want to make sure that I have enough room to put attach stuff to. Put a probe on top of there, just like that. And what else do we have to work with now? Inclined reaction wheel. Weighted wheels that spin very quickly to add assertive torque. Okay, that would help you maintain control over your spacecraft. I don't think I need anything in here. Aerodynamics are fine. What I am going to make sure I need, though, is batteries and the photovoltaics. So, oh no, I've got a cat on my desk. Hopefully I can get her out of my face in a second. Sorry about that. And there we go. Still on my desk, just not in the way of the screen. Alright, so we have these rechargeable battery packs now. Oh, how big is... That's a pretty small rechargeable battery pack. Z400, I like... See, it's got a big electrical charge. It's a big old battery pack. Let's put 2 of these on this probe. Like... Let's put them over here. And what I'm going to need to do is grab some of these photovoltaic panels and put them on there. Now, what is the difference between this one, the alternate configuration for the SP model, branded our world standard for power generation from your own home to the stars, with a protective shroud allowing recovery when it's no longer needed. Okay, so these ones you can retract back into your vessel. But without the heavy casing, So I'm going to grab either, okay, we got a 2x3 or a 1x6. We're going to put 2 1x6s on right here, like so. And now, I don't plan on this probe returning. It'll probably stay in orbit around the moon or something like that. So what I am going to put on is a data transmitter. We only need one. Like so. Put a data transmitter on there. So that'll allow me to transmit data back. And what else should I do? Maybe I'll put the Science Junior on here. Where should I put it? Put it right there. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put on 2 of these. Just like that. How much do these weigh? Mass, 0.2. How much? I need to look at that in relation to something. Mass, 0.05. Okay, it's not. Though they're not that heavy. The fuel tank weighs so much more than that. All right, so now we have our probe on top of our standard booster section. Now this should be substantially lighter than our last spacecraft, so I don't think I'll have any problem doing what I want with this thing. And the only goal I'm going to have for this is going to be to get in orbit around the moon, complete my contract by... or get in orbit around Kerbal, complete my contract by transmitting data, get in orbit around the moon, complete my contract by transmitting the data. And then if there's any, I'm sure there's going to be fuel left over, and what I plan on doing with that is just leaving him there for future reference. So let's thrust up. This is all set up, should be all set up correctly. I tested it once. SAS on, and let's launch. Very good. Looks pretty stable. I like the look of this rocket. I just like the way it looks. It looks really, really nice. It looks a little better than my last booster section, which was a little haphazard, a little bootleg. But this one looks pretty damn cool. And I don't remember if I had it on the other one, but I do have a 7th booster rocket in the center here, and not just 6 around the edge. So there is one more solid fuel booster on. I believe it's one more than I had before. No big deal, really. So I'm just going to cut this episode here, and I'll come right back as soon as I achieve an orbit. So I'll be right back. Alright, we're back in orbit, and off-screen, a lot more time has passed than you may have think, because I messed up a couple times. I had to go back and change some things around. I had to change the engines that were on these boosters here, just because I didn't have enough control over the craft with the big engines. So I had to swap them out for the littler ones, because it was pitching and yawing all over the place. I couldn't control its orbit. And so I had to go back and try again. And then I almost got into orbit, and I realized there was a staging mistake where this engine right here for the probe had been firing the entire time, which is, you may have noticed a weird glow on the when I was launching off before. That was because this engine right here was accidentally going. So I had to revert again and just switch up the staging so it fired at a different time, and we tried again. So 3rd time's a charm. I just got into orbit, just burned off the fuel for these so we can get rid of them. I love jettisoning these things while you're actually in the vacuum. Slowly drift away like that. Love the physics in this game. So now I have this full fuel tank on this big ol' engine and the probe's core to work with, and we are in orbit, and I have the contract to transmit or recover data from space around Kerbal. So what we're going to do is... Now, I have a lot of fuel left. I'm wondering if I could actually make it to the moon and back. We might have to try that. First things first, extend that. Extend... No, I can't do that. I didn't put a parachute or any way of landing on this, so no, that would be a bad idea. So we're just going to continue the original plan. I've never used these before, so we're going to use these. Open them up. Now, you don't get very much data for transmitting, but you don't have to go back. Microgravity has greatly affected the growth of crystalline structures. Loose objects are also flying around the bay in a very messy but fascinating way, so we're going to transmit that data. We're starting our transmission, uploading the data. I believe that takes power. 25 data received on Kerbal. Nice. So that worked. And you can see our little comm array going back. And we completed that one. Good. The electrical charge is going up thanks to our photovoltaic panels. As you can see, transmitting that data did take a lot. So now what we're going to do is, as you can see, we have an orbit here. And if you're wondering what this one is, it's the guy I'm supposed to try to rescue. And I'm not sure how to do that, so I'm not going to try it quite yet. So now what we're going to do is set a... set as target. There we go. Let's get back over here. We're going to plot a course to the moon and do the same thing over there. So same thing as before. We're going to use a maneuver. We're going to increase our thrust. And we're going to move the maneuver point till we're in a good lunar capture there. Which I like about there. I think I may have used too much juice there. Yeah, because I can do it with burning a smaller amount of fuel. So we're going to do it like that. Let's see, how far away? 6 minutes and about 7 minutes till our burn time. So we're just going to speed up time a little bit. 4 times compression. Get a little bit closer. Now I have to keep trying to make sure this is pointing in the right direction. I've never done an unmanned probe before, so this is new to me, and I kind of like it. It's cool. I like the, it kind of feels, kind of mildly realistic, because, that's what we do all the time. We send unmanned probes out. We don't send people up there to splatter across the moon like I did. Well, not in the last 40 years, at least. Alright, let's push our thrusters all the way up. We got plenty of fuel, That booster section is very efficient now. I really like it. Well, it's very efficient, and this was a much lighter cargo that it had to move than the last time. The manned one was very heavy. There was a lot of fuel, a couple engines, the crew capsule, parachute had a lot of weight to it. Not the parachute, but all that stuff together had a lot of weight to it. And I mean, we're going to get to the moon and have just tons of fuel to burn. Alright, almost there. Almost there. Perfect. Oop. There we go. We're good. Okay, let's get rid of that. I don't know why it's having a conniption like that, but not a big deal. See, we didn't burn that much fuel, maybe a third of the fuel in these 2 canisters here. This thing just looks cool, doesn't it? It definitely looks more spacey with the photovoltaic panels. I like that. I like it a lot. Alright, so let's increase time. Cannot warp faster. Okay, it's because I was close to an orbital body. Okay, I'm flopping around with these time compressions because they make me nervous. And I'm going to try... I know you saw it a lot last episode, but I'm going to try to avoid doing the save scrubbing. I don't like doing it. It feels like, it doesn't feel pure. I just feel like it's so much more fun when, you have one go at it. And I mean, if I had one go at it every time, we would be sitting here for... There would be episode 20 before something like that. Maybe 16 before I would have made it to the moon. Alright, so let's just do a burn and get into a lunar orbit. This is going to be a very eccentric lunar orbit, I think. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. 15,000. I'm gonna make... Okay, I should have waited till... I thought I could... I thought it'd be fine to do it over here, but it's not gonna work out quite as planned. I'm gonna make a really, really close pass on the moon here. Let's center it over here. Now let's try burning a little. There we go. No, there we not go. That is not an orbit. I should not have burned. Alright, we need to try to push this out more now, so let's face... I can't remember what the technical term for it is, but the direction of travel. You know, retrograde is opposite of travel, but... Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix this. I gotta make sure that I don't hit the damn surface. Alright. I'm gonna have to wait till I'm right on top of that, and then do a burn. This is ugly. This is some ugly maneuvering, and it's just because I'm not trying too terribly hard to make it work right. Alright, we're almost at our periapsis. So let's face retrograde, and now our roll is off. I like to keep it try to keep the roll in a good angle. Keep my orientation. I mean, even this orbit's gonna be, you know, all cockeyed. So now let's burn, and this should be better. We might not even end up using our last stage there. Perfect. And by perfect, I mean that is in no way perfect. Look at our apoapsis is 1.7 million kilometers, and our periapsis is 26,000 meters. 26 kilometers versus, you know, 1.7 million meters. It's just really, really awkward orbit, but we are where we need to be for what I need. We're in a stable orbit around the moon. It's not going to degrade at all, so because there's no atmosphere, there's no drag when I get this close. So, and look, I still have like almost half a fuel tank. Wow. I could have cut one of these out. I could have attached it right to this section and eliminated this fuel tank and this engine. Nice. Okay, let's see, how is our electrical charge? Our electrical charge is fine because we have the photovoltaics. So we're going to use this guy, observe our materials bay, and then transmit this data. The high radiation environment caused a few of the samples to glow. It looks like it would be fun to paint the rocket with this. Alright, we're going to transmit that data, and let's take a look at our... Yeah, it uses a good amount of power when you're transmitting data. Alright, completed that contract as well. Transmit and transmit. Okay, we have this one. I might just abandon this one. I don't feel like doing those piddly little things. And we achieved our goal. So we're going to call it an episode here. And I'm going to leave this craft in orbit around the moon here. And whenever I want to now, I can come back and get it. What I might end up doing is, because I should have thought it. This just worked a lot better than I expected it to. What I can do in the future is, once I have a bay to put stuff in, once I unlock it, I can send this back to Kerbal and capture it in a spacecraft and then bring it back down to the planet to recover all of the money from this. So now, let's see, how do I go to our space center? That's what I need to do. I've never left a probe in orbit before, so it was a little bit of a learning experience there, but it went pretty well. Now if we go to our tracking station here, let's see, that is Melkalkerman. And here it is over here. Now we have, well, I should have renamed it. It's just called Booster, because I built it off the booster section, but I can, yep, there's my probe there. Booster debris is in orbit here. I can try to recover this stuff at some point, once I figure out how to, like booster debris. I can try to recover it and get the money back for it, but trying to get this guy might be fun. I might try to focus on that next. See, how much science do we have now? I got a little bit of science. I didn't get a lot, but I was more interested in completing those contracts than getting a lot of science. I got a little bit. Let's see, what's the next? The next step is 90, and I have 67. So, anywho, we're gonna call it an episode here. If you've enjoyed this, drop me a like, leave me a comment, and if you're interested in more daily Benjamin Magnus plays, almost said Crusader Kings 2, plays Kerbal Space Program, got the K's mixed up, Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.